Hello everyone. This is your instructor, Haider Al-Mansury. And in this presentation, I'm going to talk about the sentence. You need to know this is one of our first meetings to cover the basics of the writing process. It is very important to to master these basics because once you do, in the future, you will be a professional in your writing. So today is going to be about the sentence. I'm now going to talk about the sentence patterns. This is a different topic that we will tackle later on in this course. Today I'm going to talk about the sentence when it comes to style. This is one, and two, I'm going to talk about the sentence when it comes to the ideas that a sentence can express. Uh, so, according to this criteria, you have to know that there are three types of sentences. The first one is called simple sentence. The other one is called compound sentence, and there is the complex sentence. And before I go further explaining these three types, you need to know the simple definition for a sentence. Now, a sentence is a group of words that express one main idea. This is very important. This definition is simple, however, is very important. Okay, so a group of words that express one main idea or ideas. Now, this part is a little tricky, right? Now, when I say express one main idea, um, you need to know that every and each sentence have to have a subject, and it has to have a verb, and there has to be a complement. But most importantly, the subject and the verb. I'm talking about statements in English, of course. Now, just in case you don't know what I mean by subject, the subject is the doer, is the who or the what. Okay? It is the thing or the person that performs the action. Okay, this is the subject. The verb is the action itself. Okay? Uh, and of course, it depends on the type of the sentence. It depends on the pattern, to be more accurate, of the sentence. There is probably a complement in some sentences, and sometimes we don't have. Again, we will explain this later. Now, for today's class, for today's presentation, again, in terms of the ideas that sentences could express, the first type is the simple sentence. As you can see, the simple sentence, again, is a group of words that expresses one main idea. One main idea. This is very important. One main idea. This is one. Two, see, one main idea. Also, it's called independent clause. The simple sentence is also called, or is also known as, independent clause, meaning it can stand alone. It doesn't need anything else to be clear. Okay. Let me give you an example. As you can see, the hunters, this is the subject, this is the doer, this is the who. Tramped, this is the verb. Through the woods, this is a complement, right? Tramped is a verb. Just in case you don't know the meaning of the word tramped, it means walked, traveled, wandered, tread. Okay. So again, as you can see, this is the subject, this is the verb, and this is the complement. And this group of words expresses one idea only. Therefore, this is a simple sentence. Therefore, this is an independent clause. Okay, let me give you another example. The dog barked all night. My father is a teacher. Adi is my best friend. In all of these sentences, we have subjects, again, the door, and we have verbs, and there is a third part. And again, we will talk about the patterns of sentences later on. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that a simple sentence contains one main idea, and it can stand alone, making an independent clause. This is the first type. The second type is called compound sentence. Compound sentence. Compound sentence. This is very important. When we have a compound sentence, then we have two independent clauses. Two, see, this is one, this is two independent clauses. However, they have to be of equal weight. They have to be of equal importance. Two independent clauses of equal weight. I hope this drawing, this simple drawing, can explain the idea. They are of equal weight, but they have to be joined via using a coordinating conjunction, or what we call coordination. So there is a coordination between the two independent clauses. Again, independent clauses meaning simple sentences, meaning they can stand alone. However, in the compound sentence, we join these two independent clauses expressing more than one idea. Okay, as you can see, as we stated when we talked about the simple sentence, the simple sentence is an independent clause, meaning it has one main idea. This also has one main idea. But in this case, these two independent clauses, these two simple sentences, are joined via using coordinating conjunction. Let me give you an example. Here, look at the example. It was late. Before I go further explaining the examples, it is very important to notice that the coordinating conjunction determines the meaning of the whole sentence, right? And now remember, even though we have two independent clauses, but still this is one sentence, right? And since they are joined via using coordinating conjunction, then this conjunction determines the meaning of the sentence. So I used the same independent clauses. I only changed the coordinating conjunction to show you how important these are when it comes to the whole meaning of the sentence. Number one, it was late, comma, so I decided to take a bus home. Now, it was late. This is an independent clause, meaning it can stand alone. It meaning we can write it down on its own, and it makes sense with no problems, right? It was late. However, we want to express more than one idea just to make the meaning complete. Therefore, we used a coordinating conjunction and another independent clause. It was late, so I decided to take a bus home. See, this is independent clause, this is another independent clause, and this is a coordinating conjunction. Look at the second example. It was late, the same independent clauses. However, the conjunction is different. It was late, yet I decided to take a bus home. Now, again, see how important these conjunctions are. In example number one, the meaning is totally different from the meaning in example number two. It was late, so I decided to take a bus home. It was late, yet I decided to take a bus home. So the meaning is different, right? Here, in example number one, because you can think about the meaning like this: because it was late, I decided to take a bus home. However, the meaning here is totally different. Even though it was late, I decided to take a bus home. See, so it is very important to pay attention to the conjunction that you use to join your independent clauses. Another example: Tani is a careless driver. See, this is an independent clause. The semicolon is considered a coordinating conjunction. Okay, so this is very important. So this is a conjunction. Tani is a careless driver. He has had 3 minor accidents this year alone. See, another independent clause, and we join these two independent clauses via using a semicolon, which could be considered as a coordinating conjunction. The fourth example, in which we have a semicolon, we have to have a semicolon and a an adverb, adverb and a comma. This is very important. Okay, so independent clause. They have not seen that film. Semicolon, a conjunctive adverb, and another independent clause. They have not seen that film. Semicolon. Moreover, comma. This sequence is very important. They have not been to a theater for 3 years. As you can see, so basically, in order to have a compound sentence, we have to have 2 independent clauses joined via coordinating conjunction. That was the second type of sentences. The third type is called the complex sentence. The complex sentence. Now, in this sentence, we have more than one idea. One of these ideas has to be the main idea, and what follows is a secondary idea. Okay, secondary idea. In terms of clauses, as you can see here, we have independent clause. This is the one that can stand alone. And we have another clause. However, this one is dependent. This one cannot stand alone. I mean, if you pay attention to the picture, we have like the planet Earth. It's a independent planet. It doesn't need other planets, right? It's totally fine on its own. However, the moon is not independent. It's dependent. It's a follower. It cannot wander. It cannot wander around the space alone. Okay, it needs Earth. Okay, so if you think about the relationship between the independent clause and the dependent clause in the complex sentence, it's just like the relationship between the moon and the earth. The earth is independent, the moon is a follower. And however, these are joined via using subordinating conjunctions. Subordination. So the relationship between the independent clause and the dependent clause is of subordination. Subordination, meaning one is dependent, the other one is dependent. One can stand alone, the other one is a follower. Let me give you examples. Look at the examples here. The first one, this course was excellent because Professor Green taught it. Now the first one is independent clause. However, since we have a subordinated conjunction in the second one, then the second clause is dependent. It cannot stand alone. You cannot say because Professor Green taught it and you stop. We need something else, right? In this case, we need independent clause. Well, this course was excellent, and you want to explain why, then you will add another idea because Professor Green taught it. Let me give you another example, a side example. This course was excellent, although Professor Green taught it. Again, the same idea. I told you when we talked about the compound sentence that the coordination there, the coordination conjunctions could change the meaning. The same thing applies here for the subordinating conjunctions. They are very important and they could change the meaning too. So we need to make a quick recap, a quick review. Again, so in terms of ideas, in terms of style, we could have three types of sentences. The first one is the simple sentence, in which there is only one idea. It's also known as independent clause. Or we could have a compound sentence, meaning we have two independent clause joined by using coordinating conjunctions. And in these types of sentences, we have three options. The first one is that we have independent clause and one of these conjunctions, and they have to be preceded by a comma. Okay, one of these: and, but, for, nor, or, so, yet. All of these are called coordinating conjunctions. And we have another independent clause. This is option 1. Option 2, we have independent clause, semicolon, another independent clause. Or we have an independent clause, then we have a semicolon, then one of these adverbs, and another independent clause. So we have three options when it comes to write compound sentences. And for the case of complex sentences, we have this option, only one option. We have to have independent clause, then a dependent clause. However, they are joined via using subordinating conjunction. One of these, all of these are subordinating conjunction. Here is very important note that you need to consider, that the subordinating conjunction always attached to the dependent clause, not to the independent, okay, to the dependent clause. You get what I'm saying? So this is a very important thing to consider. Another option is still, this is a complex sentence. However, the order of the clause is different now. What do we have? We have a subordinating conjunction followed by, as I told you before, the subordinating conjunction has to be always attached to the dependent clause. But this time, in this option, we start with the dependent clause, the subordination conjunction, the dependent clause. Pay attention to the comma, then the independent clause. So the same thing, we have independent clause and dependent, but the order is different here. That's it for today. I hope it was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or problems. Thank you for listening, and see you, or you will hear from me in the next presentation. Thank you.